Hello everybody and welcome back to Kerbal Space Program to Infinity and Beyond. This is going to be our fourth attempt, and after the first two attempts were relatively okay, I would say, or relatively, they were steps forward at least. Our third attempt was definitely a step back, where we basically just ended up crashing all the time. So we're going to go back to our Mark II prototype here. And what do we know about this one? Okay, so this one has the power to get us into orbit anyway. And I might be misusing those words. Again, I apologize. Just relax, everybody relax. But we need some kind of like locomotion, some propulsion within our initial vessel here, or our command center. Because once these run out, like this is just to get us out of, like off of the Earth, basically. Not even really, it wouldn't even be outside of the Earth's gravitational field, would it? I don't know. I'm not sure if we need a little bit more power here, but this is basically like the maximum amount of power we can have without... you know, our ship just crashing immediately. So I think we need to add another engine here, but of course it also needs some fuel as well. Let me think. So we've got, in terms of engines, we have basic jet engine, we have a turbojet engine, we have an aerospike rocket, we have fuel tanks, of course, and then we have liquid fuel engines here. Let's try this. I wonder, can I just strap a jet engine onto the bottom of this one? And then put our... No, we can't just attach the rest of that to the top then, can we? What if we put a basic jet engine on this? Can't strap anything to that either. Can we do like a Mark II or Mark 1, Mark 3 to Mark 2 adapter? No, we cannot. What am I missing here? I guess maybe we cannot use a jet engine right on the bottom of our thing there. What about... Okay, so we tried liquid fuel engines. It didn't work very well for us, but this seems like the most practical usage. You know what? We're not going to save this one yet. We're just going to try this out and see if it works. You know, the design phase is all about tweaking. Thank God we've got an endless supply of Kerbals here. We're just going to launch off. Whoa, that is way too loud. Okay, we're not going to do too much fanfare here. We're basically just going to see how this bad boy flies. It flies reasonably well. Seems like certainly working a lot better than my last one did. It's all because of those 3 airfoils I've attached, man. So we're about to run out of fuel on these. We'll try to do a more fluid, a smoother decoupling than I've done in the past. There we go. I think that was better than usual. Basically just mashing the spacebar button until, you know, gorgeous plumes of liquid fuel, or I guess just pure fire, propulsion comes out of the back of our rocket. Kind of tilting a little bit here, but that's okay. We will again try to do a smooth decoupling here in a second. As soon as we run out of fuel, we don't have to worry too much about overheating, which is fine. Now, if all goes well, this should get us to near our maximum height, at least. Like the height that we have achieved our maximum of, anyway. Remember, of course, that, you know, our acceleration will go higher and higher the less weight that we have on our ship. So as we decouple these, like, we're getting more and more potential to travel faster and faster. So as we do this last decoupling here, I feel like we might be able to get upwards of, you know, maybe 600 meters per second upwards, which would put us close to our maximum altitude as long as, you know, this fuel lasts for like 15 seconds or so. We're still on the Earth's surface, though, not even close to orbit. Remember, we got up to like 40,000 meters on one of our last attempts. So this should allow us to... I must be totally missing something with these jet engines, because even when I crank the throttle up, I'm like not moving upwards at all. So I think we do have a problem here. Also, I did not attach a decoupler here, which is stupid, because now we have this jet engine attached to us, even though it's not causing us to go any higher. And we are still on the surface of the Earth. Actually, this might be a good opportunity. I was going to end the run, but we might be able to see where we cross over into orbit. So it is not at 30,000 meters. Let's get this as high as we can go. It is not at 32,000, maybe 35,000. We'll see when we enter orbit and exit the surface. 35,000 is still surface. We're still moving upwards, but it's going... Okay, 36,000 meters is where we... Let's turn SAS off, is where we enter orbit. Let's kind of right ourselves like this. Like that. It's hard to control this with WASD, Q, and E. We can just make ourselves spin around if we wanted to. But I think it's clear that this run is over. I want to try something else very quickly. I apologize for learning on the fly, but that's kind of what this is all about, isn't it? So we'll move this down. We need like an air intake or something on this, don't we? Maybe we're just missing fuel. Let's try this quickly and see. Oh, that's not what I meant to do. We might. I hope we don't lose the entire bottom of this rocket. All right, yeah. So I guess we were just missing fuel because now this works totally fine. So we know that the jet engine works now, and certainly the fuel is going to last us a lot longer than it used to. So let's we'll end the flight here. And we did, unfortunately, lose the rest of our rockets. So we'll load in. Not Mark 1. Not Mark 1. Mark 1 was a total disaster. Mark 2. Okay, and then we'll just, like, recreate what we had going on so far. So move this triple coupler down. We will attach a couple fuel tanks, actually. Maybe would make it better for me. And then we will put a, what was it? It was a liquid fuel engine. And then this down here. Now, hopefully, this is still not too heavy where it can't lift off. If it is, we're going to find ourselves obviously having some problems here. But I think we can safely save this as the Northernlion Mk 4 now and actually give this bad boy an attempt. Is there anything else we can add just for fun? Landing struts? Well, that's a long way away in the future, I would say. We do already have a parachute attached. So there's not that much else that we would add. Maybe small control surface, standard canard, winglets. I think we've learned our lesson with winglets. Let's give it a try. Northernlion Mk 4. This is the best I can come up with right now. A very similar design to the Mark II, just with a little bit of added propulsion. Please, just get off the fucking launch pad and I'll be happy. 3, 2, 1. Oh no. Oh god. Oh Jesus Christ. You got it. We can still do it. We can still do it. There's no problem here. There's a substantial problem here. Okay, we have way too much weight. Oh, back to the drawing board, I guess. Okay, so vehicle assembly building. What can we do to make this lighter? I guess the easy answer is we can take off one of these fuel tanks. But I don't know if this will give us enough propulsion, like, once we get into space in order to make things happen. But this will probably be our last launch here that we'll try. Our design is getting slightly better, maybe? Anyway, 3, 2, 1... Oh man, that's not good. These fuel tanks are heavy. I gotta do something about that. We might have to totally scrap this design. Oh, that's not good. Probably took out some of those satellite dishes as well. We gotta give this one more crack. I gotta come up with some better solution. Because right now, things are getting worse before they're getting any better. Is there a lighter fuel tank that I could use? I need the fuel. Well, I guess the other thing we could do... Let's let this be our revised design. We can get rid of some weight just by getting rid of some of these solid fuel boosters, but I think this is going to make it impossible for me to exit the atmosphere and get into orbit. Or exit the surface and get into orbit is maybe a better way to put it. But this is going to be our final design for the Mark IV. I think it's going to at least get off the launch pad safely. 2, 1. We do have liftoff. So I'm going to activate SAS as soon as possible so that my ship remains relatively constant. As you can see, there's a lot of like sway down here, so I definitely want to attach struts to those. But for now, it's working okay. We're going to run out of fuel in like 3 or 4 seconds. I'm going to try a solid fluid decoupling here. Okay, let's say that worked fairly well. Hopefully our jet engine has enough power to actually carry us off of the surface, because we are still about 34,000 meters, 34 kilometers away, with only one more set of rocket boosters that can really get us there. We'll try, and perhaps we'll get lucky. Actually, you know what? I have one more design I might like to try. Maybe we'll do it in the next video, though. Because for now, I think I've done some variations on a theme, and this is going to at least allow me the chance to get reasonably close, perhaps even touch on the altitude that we reached in that. I think it was the second episode, actually. So the fourth episode has still been kind of I'd say 50-50. It's been half good, half bad. I did figure out how to fly with a jet engine, which is not... Oh, that's not what I meant to do! Oh, you know what? Okay, we have to go back to vehicle assembly. That was stupid. Totally dumb. I'm missing a decoupler in a good spot here. So we'll put our decoupler here. Apologies for not letting that one see itself through, but now we'll save it. This is the definitive design. We'll try something new next time. No fanfare. Let's just launch this one. We can speed it up a little bit. And we'll turn S. Oh god, it's swaying so much. This is fine. Apart from the fact that it looks like its legs are dangling out from underneath it, like it's too short to sit on a chair. It's working reasonably well, I would say. I wouldn't necessarily go as far as to say that we are, oh god, gonna have any chance of reaching our previous best. I'm doing my best here. As you note, I mean, there is, like, the fuel is running out a lot faster. This is because I just have us in, like, warp speed right now. We can go back to ×1 instead of double time. So we're not even gonna get close unless our jet engine actually allows us to do what we need to do here. So let's decouple that. Crank up the thrust. I must be missing something incredible here. Oh, there we go. Perfect. So we will start burning fuel with our jet engine, which is, at this point, merely causing us to slow down at a decreased rate, not actually causing us to get any extra lift. I have the throttle maxed. And we are just... Oh, there we go. We're actually getting some acceleration going now. Having burned, like, you know, 20% of our fuel. Alright, let's get going. Maybe we can actually... At least if we get into orbit, I will consider this to be a success. But I think it's pretty dang clear that I am going to need some extra fuel tanks. Unfortunately, that might make liftoff impossible. But the fuel here is definitely lasting longer than the fuel from the solid-state boosters. Or solid fuel boosters. So, you know... somewhat successful run, I would say. I'm pretty confident at this point that we are going to make it into the upper atmosphere, or at least off the surface again. I apologize if I'm misusing these astronomical terms. It is not my profession by trade. We can double this time here, I think. And see if we are going to break our record. Because obviously, once we get out of... once we reach, like, escape velocity... momentum should carry us. At least that's my understanding as someone who is pretty much a complete layperson when it comes to every aspect of physics. But surely, I think we're actually going to beat our previous high altitude, which is awesome. And there is orbit. So now when our fuel runs out, we should just be able to get rid of this jet engine. Momentum is not carrying us the way I thought it would. But as you can see, that is not falling at, you know, standard gravitational speeds. So now we just got to figure out, okay, there's where we're supposed to go. Is this thing over here? We can go back to single time for a second. Is this thing over here on our, like, globe? So if I can just, like, aim my... I'll turn SAS off. And aim my ship close to that, we can maybe figure out where that... Oh, God, stop. Okay, SAS. There you go. Maybe figure out where we're supposed to be headed here. So let's stabilize ourselves again. Alright, so this is the direction that we want to go. Forward. Like this. I think that's what this means. Anyway, we are starting to descend towards the Earth again. But this was a success. This will definitely be our highest trip that we've taken. Are we? Yes, we are. We're starting to descend. So we could either, you know, we can speed this up a little bit. And, you know, let's see how this comes to fruition. Because I assume we are going to fall relatively quickly now. Yeah, successful run. I think we reached our highest altitude. We now understand how to use jet engines. And, you know, I think we're making a little bit of progress here. What do we need? We need extra fuel and extra propulsion. Functional propulsion. So I think I have a nice tweak for the Mark IV that will add into the Mark V that may give me... I'm just doing this right now to see if my Kerbal survive, by the way. Siegfried and Adson are way into this. Hudson, I'm not sure you're cut out for this job, to be honest with you. If our Kerbal survive, this will be like probably our most successful mission thus far, despite the fact that, you know, like 9 of their Kerbal friends died in the earlier stages. So let's throw out our parachute there. That'll slow us down a little bit. And I think we're going to crash down safely in the ocean. Beautiful sunset. Maybe sunrise, who knows. And the total time of our flight was only like 6 minutes. That's crazy, but hey, on the bright side, we survived unless we get eaten by a shark in like 10 seconds. So yeah, I have a tweak in mind for the Mark V, just to give us a little bit more thrust. These guys all totally lived, which is awesome. And I guess we can end the mission now. Cool. So nothing, I guess like things got destroyed, but that's kind of what we expected. Highest we got was 48,000 meters. I can't remember if that was higher than our last one, but it's definitely in that range. And everything else looks fairly similar. But in any case, as always, thank you guys for watching. I would consider Apollo 4 to be a success, except for the, you know, again, like 12 Kerbals that died during testing. But as always, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you with Apollo 5. I've got some good design changes in mind.